Thrillbee.com here with the legendary Karyn White. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm amazing. I am really doing great. I just came from doing an audition for the TV One show Love That Girl. I auditioned for the role of Bridget, who is Delroy, who is Tatiana Ali's dad. So I'm excited. I hope I get the part. So it's been a crazy day.
Well, thank you for allowing Bread Magazine to interview you today.
Awesome.
You have a lot going on, and that's awesome. You just left the audition, you said?
Yep, just left it,
You have a lot going on right now. Recently, you're reintroducing yourself to the music industry, and congratulations with that comeback. Your project's name is Carpe Diem, correct?
Oh, yeah.
For those who don't know what Carpe Diem is, would you like to go ahead and tell us today?
Oh, yeah. It's a Latin phrase, and it means to seize the day. And that's exactly what my movement is. I think that's what I represent right now, especially after being away from the industry for 17 years, coming back to even have the nerve to come back, because first of all, this entertainment industry is it's like a beast, because you got to get it when the getting is good and hot. And for me to come back cold off, I feel like I'm starting over. But yet, I do have some hits, but it's hard, And so the fact that I'm, seizing the day, I want to encourage all the listeners out there to say, wow, if Karyn White can do it and get back in this thing after raising her daughter, having a whole other career, but, doing it for the love of music and arts, and just entering into a paradigm shift, a new, frame of mindset that I'm fearless right now at the age of 40-something, which is crazy, but you can do it too. No excuse.
And you look great. To say that you're 40-something, by the way.
Girl, thank you. And that's another thing. It's like God is so good, because, this industry is it's based on entertainment. People, you're competing against the most beautiful, the most talented, the best of the best of the best. And so it's a trip at how when I was younger, I actually feel like I was more insecure then, as opposed to now, when you have wisdom and you understand what your purpose is and why you're doing the why behind something, instead of just because I want to be popular and have hits and have money. So, the fact that I'm encouraging, especially women, because I'm a superwoman and I'm for my ladies. Of course, I love men, but I'm really for entrepreneurs and for women. And so I just want to encourage the women listeners out there, especially, to embrace this time, especially, if you're in your late 30s and 40s, 50s, and you feel like your life is over and the best of life has passed you. I'm here to be the poster child and say, you can't have that mindset. You got to know that your best days are ahead, and you got to keep dreaming, because what is life if you just wake up and feel that you've already had the best and it's already past you? So anyway.
Definitely dope. What are some detours, if you don't mind, for the sisters out there that are listening to us today on this interview, if you care to discuss any, that cause you to take a step back from the music industry or the entertainment industry as a whole? And now you're surfacing, again, so kudos.
Okay. Yes, detours. I definitely want to talk about that, because I believe that those the things that you go through, the trials, that if they don't kill you, they make you stronger. And so I definitely can vouch to say that it felt like it was going to kill me, but it didn't. I back in the late 90s, 99, I got a divorce from legendary Grammy Award-winning producer Terry Lewis of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and that was just like talking about a major detour. I never saw myself being divorced, and I never realized that this would. I had always talked to him and said, I don't want to be like other couples. And so when you find yourself being like other couples, it's interesting. And so I'm really, that was a detour for me, because that was such a powerful force in my life. And then my mom died at the same time around. She was, my rock, and so when you have two people that, it's like death. I had two deaths, but I believe at that time I really, the Lord knew what He was doing, because I really believe that there's a season and a time for everything. And I was young when I had success. I tell my daughter this all the time about detours, and especially for women, because it's so easy, because in relationships we really, I believe, we were made for the man, so it's so easy to get off track with your goals as a woman. And that's like the one thing that I'm always concerned with when I talk to my daughter. I'm like, okay, this is the season of harvesting and planting and growing and learning, and you going after your career. There will always be time for love. And so I just want to say that, you can't let anything detour you. And, like I said, we fall down, but you got to get back up. And what helped me was the Word of God, really, when I understood and really seek to know what a woman of God really looks like. And that's the ultimate superwoman, which is being submissive and obedient, because blessings flow.
I think that with what you just said, it kind of hit a notch into what I wanted to ask you about working with previous legendary hit makers like Babyface and also Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, and how important it was for you to find the right guidance with Carpe Diem, because essentially it is a release of and seizing your day.
Yes.
So you this go around.
You said who? Okay, well, first I'll just talk about, being, I was so blessed, because I was at the beginning of, LA and Babyface, their careers, and I think actually Babyface is so underrated, because he's written over 100 top 10 hits, and that's very hard to do. I mean, he really should be like I'm sure he's in the Guinness World Book of Records. That's a very extremely hard thing to do. L.A. Reid, discovering talent, being a producer. I mean, I've just Benny Medina, who was my A&R person at the time. So I really was blessed, and that's the great thing about when you start out and with the truth. So for me, I've been around the truth, meaning like just the best of the best. So my ear, I have when it comes to songs, I know what a song is supposed to, how it's supposed to make you move. It's supposed to, reach you and touch you and grab your soul, and it just lives, it lives. It doesn't, it's not something that you think about just for a time period. And like a song, like a timeless song, like I'm Not Your Superwoman, how it still affects women and it changes your life. And so I was very blessed to be able to get that record. And, they wrote that record for me. And so they saw something in me at a young age. And it was interesting, because at that time I was competing really against, Janet Jackson, Pebbles, Jody Watley, kind of like those type of dance divas. And that song, I'm Not Your Superwoman, really separated me from the pack. And so I'm very grateful, because it really grew me up as an artist too, and it just changed it just gave me a bigger, broader reach.
And it must have been like crazy growing up, being in the industry at a young age like that. And compared to now, you're older, so you've actually owned your own businesses and you've created your own success in your own right. So now that you re-entered the industry, you do have a different outlook on how to handle your business. What are some ways that you are marketing and advertising for Carpe Diem?
Wow, you know what? I'm so excited to talk about this, because now I'm Karyn White, not just the singer and the songwriter as before. Now I'm Karyn White, the entrepreneur who has I don't have the money that a Warner Brothers had, which they had $1 gazillion, and that's who I was with at that time, and they spent a lot of money so everyone would know Karyn White name, and $100,000 videos, $300,000 videos. So right now I come into the industry and I'm excited, because I say, wow, I have a name. So that's one thing that they can't take from you. Like I remember that scene in Tina Turner and Ike, when What's Love Got to Do with It? She's like, can I have my name? So that's how I feel. I have my name, and I have my talent and my desire, my drive, and so I'm entering in this business. And to me, I love the industry, because with the internet and social media, you don't necessarily need a record company, and that's so, I love that fact because there's so many talented independent artists who would never see the time of light, and my heart really just goes out to young talented people in general, because it's so hard, to break into this industry and to make an impact, especially if, you're competing against major labels. And so right now what I'm doing is that it's really a movement. I'm starting, I just started right now with Song Best, which is a campaign, and I'm actually trying to raise funds to pursue my, Carpe Diem movement, which is, the record and, my tour and my marketing. And because, I've spent a lot of money so far, but I'm a businesswoman. At the end of the day, I always say I want to be famous at the bank. It's important to make great business decisions. And so coming back, I've seen a lot of other artists that have been successful with raising money from their fans, supporting them, especially, saying we want to support great music and the movement of just the positivity of what I'm putting out there. And I'm going to be doing seminars. Actually, my daughter and I, who's a college student at Howard University, she's 20 years old. We're going to be doing a mother-daughter seminar on entrepreneurship and a great thing that I'm excited about us doing together is that I just want to show young women, too, that, that how to do it in today's world, because I've had the experience of 20 years ago and today. And even when I left the entertainment industry, I was doing business. I was a real estate investor and a builder. I flipped homes, interior design. So I really didn't do much in the entertainment industry, but I brought in my education and with business, because no one really teaches you about financial literacy. And another thing, speaking of financial literacy, my campaign from Song Best is also contributing to a school in Los Angeles that targets underprivileged children, not even children, but actually teens, and teaches them about financial literacy, because it's really one of the most important tools that you need. And it's the trip at how college doesn't even really teach you about how to understand money and how it works, when it's really a big factor of business 101.
I agree.
Mhm.
What assisted you this go around with producing the great feel-good music that we find on Carpe Diem?
I'm sorry, you said what about the music on Carpe Diem?
Who assisted you this go around with producing the great feel-good music that Carpe Diem has?
Oh, I cannot hear the first. You said tell you about the music on Carpe Diem?
Who assisted you with producing the great music on Carpe Diem?
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay, yeah. Okay, my Sacramento, actually, Derek Allen, who was an amazing writer, producer. He actually had this year the #1 hit with Anita Baker for maybe 11 weeks in a row, Have I Told You I Love You, which was originally done by Tyrese. He wrote that song, and he also worked with Janet Jackson on her Black Cat tour. He actually produced the whole album, and I really was excited to work with him, because when you've been around people like a Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, who I was, when I'm a student, when I'm at the studio, I wrote songs with them, I studied them, I really learned from Faith, from L.A., from Jimmy, from Terry, so I have the privilege to kind of know how they both come to greatness. And so for me, I felt like, okay, I know what I want to do. I can't afford to pay a Jimmy Jam or a Faith or L.A. or Terry, so I'm, Derek lived in Sacramento, and I loved, some of the tracks when we got together, and the vision, he understood it. And so that's the whole thing, too, is just, and I like being a person, and I say this, I'm a Libra, but I love being a part of starting someone's career and helping, and I'm not a person who really jumps on the bandwagon. I love to start in trends, and so I'm excited to kind of be like, I discovered this guy. Of course, he's I didn't discover him, but the fact that I let him do my whole album, and I think he's amazing, and I know he's going to be a force to be reckoned with. So him and Bobby G, and then just Jay Ali, one of my writers, my hip-hop artist who is actually signed to my label, who is incredible. He's got the swag of, Jay-Z with the vocals of, Anthony Hamilton plus. So I'm working with his project right now, and so we all just, I had a young team around me. Also, my stepson, Brandon, co-wrote with me Unbreakable, which was my second single. And so I just really believe in giving the youth a chance, and just, I love to keep that young energy around me. I'm vibrant, and I really feel, like I said, it's so funny. I'm older, but I feel younger. It's a trip at how my spirit is so free, and I'm so, like I said, when you understand what your purpose is and you do things for the right reasons, it's just like, you feel like there's nothing you can't do, and that's where I'm just reaching and stretching and growing, and I'm really excited. At 47, it seems crazy that I don't even really think I'm that age, but I guess I am.
Yeah. I don't think that should be anything to stop you. I'm a Libra also, so I just feel like we have some cosmic connection or whatever. It's very awesome, the positive spirits that we have and the things that we give.
Libra Nation, baby. And it's interesting. I'll just talk about that for a little bit, just because there's so many. And I mean, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not into just everything about it. I mean, I know people say they don't like astrology, but there is a lot of common things that I find about my personality and being a Libra. And there's a lot of hot entertainers that are Libras right now. It's really incredible. Like, if you look at the charts and you talk about some of the biggest groundbreaking, hot, style, beautiful, just people that are Libras, and so I'm excited to be one. So let's get it in.
Our team was beautiful. I don't mean to sound all narcissistic, but we know fashion, we know art, and we have like a heart for pretty much anything that's beautiful or aesthetic. So
exactly.
Awesome being a Libra. I don't dig much into astrology, but I think it's very nice how we parallel or align so evenly.
Oh yeah, and the whole thing about just fairness, it's like it's gotta be, just that. They say we make great judges, because we want to be off. And I felt like I was off balance. So for me coming back in this industry right now, so I'm kind of feeling like this whole, like I said, and I'm inspiring, like, even my girlfriends who are like, wow, okay, like, now you're acting. And I'm like, yeah, because it's something I wanted to do. But before, I was like, when I was younger, I felt like I kind of had to be great. So I was afraid to kind of let people see me not be great, because it takes a time to get greatness. But I was afraid to even show that side of me. Right now, I'm just fearless. I'm like, okay, I'm going for it. So, and it's amazing what that mindset is, because I think you're always in competition with yourself. Because, if you don't try, you fail. And so I'm like, hey, all I can do is just, either it can happen or it can't, but I'm putting in the work. I don't expect it to just happen. I'm taking classes. I'm doing my part, and I'm really excited.
Well, you always have to learn, especially in this industry, and I think it's awesome that your spirit is that way. It doesn't matter what you've perfected yourself into, but once you know business and you know life, it's just so easy. So your carefree nature, I'd say it doesn't necessarily matter on a win, lose, or draw scale. You've already shown us that you're phenomenal and legendary. So this is something that I consider it's more of you just giving us another dose. But were you nervous coming back amongst all the new talent that has surfaced since that 17 years that you've been gone?
Yeah, I was. Just not even so much of the new talent, because I know there's some bad girls out there, and just what I don't like about the entertainment industry is I found that the variety had changed. When I was out, you would have all these different type of artists. Now it's like they get one artist and they clone it. So it's like the same kind of voice over and over. It's a little variation, but it's like, okay, everybody wants to be Beyonce. And I'm like, okay. And I don't like that, because that's cloning, and that's stopping creativity. Whereas, when it was me, it was Chaka Khan, Anita Baker, me, Madonna, Jodie Watley. There's color, Stephanie Mills. Donna Summers. There's just different Gladys Knight, different. Not everybody had to be this cookie cutter same. So that's what I hate. And I feel like because the entertainment industry, they're like, we don't want to take a chance. We're just going to kind of go what we know is hot, and so we're going to milk it. So that's what I don't like. But coming back, I was like, well, the great thing is that I'm only in competition with myself because really, like I said, I really had to just, for me, it was just, okay, Karyn, you know what it's going to take. You got to be in top shape. You're putting yourself out there, and that's the hard thing is that you kind of feel like you got to be. You can't be perfect, but you got to come back right. You got to, and I tell people, if you're going to be in the entertainment industry, this is what comes with it, and I knew that. So it was like, am I ready to make that sacrifice? And so it just keeps you, you can't just eat. You just got to be heck of disciplined, because just for the whole point of just your look alone, not even talking about work ethic, so it's just all of that I was just like, okay, as long as my daughter wasn't there, so that was the whole reason why it was hard for me to do it. When I was raising her, I had to wait till she went to college because I couldn't have been 100% a mom because it's just hard in the entertainment industry. It requires too much, and I just knew that it would be hard to balance that, being that I'm a Libra. So I was like, I can't balance it. For me, it's like because either I'm in or I'm out. I'm not good at lukewarm because I'm a
yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that.
No, I'm like either I'm loving you, when I love. Everything is extreme. That's the one thing I don't like about me. So, but now I can be as extreme as I want to be because my daughter's gone. All I have is my little Yorkie Bella, and I'm not married, so I don't have to worry about pleasing, a husband and family. My daughter supports me, and actually we get to do it together because at the same time she's trying to do her broadcasting and journalism. So
awesome.
It's really, So I'm excited, and that's where I'm at today. So.
I think you're at a very great place in life. And most people that don't understand Libras, I'm going to cue them in just briefly. We're not really good at being unbalanced. Once everything is, off scale, we just become all, hoopla until we get it back on schedule. And I think you've done, once again, an awesome job 17 years later. My favorite video that you recently put up was the Seize the Day video with Darius McCurry in it. How was it working with him for that video? Because it was actually what you stated as far as seizing the day. The beginning starts off with him talking, and, he's trying to convince you, just to be there for him and sing for him. And you're like, no, I got to go. So.
Yeah, I got to go, baby. I got to seize it. I done gave you this. You got to support me. This is where you show me if you love me. And so it was awesome because actually, that was the big part of, my first really reaching at acting. And Darius was so incredible because he came over and we were just in the mode. And he's just such an amazing, I don't know if you know how incredible he is as a singer. He is ridiculous as a singer.
I wanted to know if there was a collab because he has a great voice.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I definitely want to collab with him. And so it was just, I just trusted him. So we, I was just glad to have him in the video, and he's, we're definitely going to do something together, and it was a fun video. It was, it's just on the rooftop, getting it in, but the main thing was just, just the message of when I was on the roof is just let it go, get out of your own way, because sometimes we really just, we're in our own way because we're all this fear paralyzes you. And there's so much of that going on right now, especially with the economy and just jobs and careers and things being, and now it's like you really have to put that power in your hands. You have to create your own path, because, that's what I tell my daughter. I'm like, okay, you want to do broadcasting, you want to be, journalism. She has a show, the Ashley Lewis Show. So I said, today's world, you can do it. You build your brand. Nobody can be in control of your destiny right now. So that's what I love about it, because before it was like you could never just have these, shows and people expressing, different internet shows and radio. It's no excuse now. People are building their brands, and it's just keep working hard, and then you can't look to the left or to the right. You got to just know that it's going to happen because you're doing the work. You're putting in the work. So I just wanted to say carpe diem to all of my independent people out there that are starting their own businesses and their own companies and taking their dreams and putting them in their own hands.
That's cool. And you said your daughter actually has she's a communications major.
Yes. Yep. She's at Howard, and she's my best friend. She's an amazing child. I can't even call her a child. She's an amazing daughter now. But the thing I love about her is because she grew up with a silver spoon. I mean, I had, the best of everything. I mean, I lived in a 30,000 square foot home in Minnesota on Lake Minnetonka. I had an elevator, beauty salon. I mean, anything you can think of, Chanel bags, Prada, all this, which means nothing because if you don't, if your heart's not right with the Lord and these things, you can't let things have you. But I'm saying, and I say this not to brag, but I say this to say how grateful I am that she didn't come out materialistic. She's a child that loves the Lord. She wants to go to Africa and help underprivileged children and teach. So she's selfless, and I really admire her for that because, most women or most, people that grow up that way, they don't have that kind of heart. So I'm really proud of her, and I can't wait to see the great things that she does and how the Lord will bless her life.
I definitely would like to talk to her. Maybe I can do something with her in regards to her show because that's awesome. Is she recently in school?
Yeah, that would be great, Nikita. I would love that. And she would, too, because, I always tell her, you want to get a mentor and someone that's doing what they can save you so much time and headache. That's the first thing you do when you're trying to, you get wisdom. And so I would definitely love that, and she would, too. Thank you.
I think that will be awesome. I'm pretty sure Lux Cash wouldn't mind that at all. He is definitely awed and inspired by this interview. So I have to make sure that we get what you are up to this year. You did tell us about your song Vest. Are you doing any concerts, or where can we find you for shows or live performances?
All righty. Well, I'm getting ready right now, getting ready for a tour in Japan, which has been my number one market. And the great thing I love about the Japanese is that because they treat you like a star. They're not like the United States. The United States is kind of fickle. They're like, who's hot now? But over there, it's like they love me and they show me they love me. When I get off, I feel like I'm Janet Jackson when I get off the plane. But I'm going to definitely be doing some small dates here and building. So I'm starting, very humble, building my base back up. And, like I said, I don't have a gazillion dollars to promote it, so it's small and steady, but I'm going to be doing some small, really pretty much for, starting, and we're going to be doing Sacramento, San Francisco, the Bay, New Orleans, L.A., Texas, Atlanta, Miami. So we're definitely putting this together now. So as my song Best, as people contribute to it, also helps because it's expensive to have, a band touring with, So we're hoping to get everywhere, in the United States that, my fans want to see me. So I'm really excited. But the great thing I love about it is because I love performing. That's the best part of all this, especially now because I really can do like this whole, metamorphosis of a woman when I sing these songs and I go through these medleys of just, what love is because I've had it, I've lost it, I know what it is, I'm trying to search it, and I'm just true. My whole thing is that my shows are really, people really, they leave there just like, wow, because for me, I don't even know what I'm going to do. There's like this whole transformation. I'm inspired by people like Prince and Tina Turner and James Brown, so there's this whole Patti LaBelle. I'm very true to whatever I do, and I give it my all, and so that's why I'm excited, because it's real, and it's reality, and, sometimes I've broken down crying, when I sing a song about unbreakable and being like, don't let nobody break your spirit, and as a woman, I did, I was in a bad relationship, and I didn't even want to sing anymore, so these are things that, I'm not afraid to touch on it because I know it's healing. It's healing for me to sing it. So I can imagine there's women out there that have let men stop them or just circumstances. So I'm really excited. And then I'm funky. I like to, like I said, that's where the Prince and the James Brown and the Tina. I'm wild. You just really get a show. So it's going to be great because it's going to be small. You're going to get right up to me 200 seats, seats or 250, 300. We'll do like multiple dates, hopefully. So I'm looking forward to the Carpe Diem tour, getting it in, season a day.
And I'm ready. I can't wait for your stops in Texas. New Orleans is kind of close, too, so I'll be looking into it. And I have the Song Best website. I'll be putting that up in a blog to help you promote that on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, thank you, Nikita.
Where
are you located?
I'm in San Antonio, Texas, physically.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. My family's from Texas. I'm from Dallas and Lubbock and McKinley.
If
and
you
Arlington.
are doing shows anywhere, I'll be looking forward to doing Dallas.
Please.
Anywhere to get out of San Antonio if you're not going to be here is awesome. So.
Yeah, well, I hope so. And please, Nikita, and make sure because I really, you're young, right?
Yes, I'm 25. I'll be 26
I love
September on the 24th. So.
Yeah, I would love to meet you and, like I said, and support whatever you're doing, whatever way we can. And just thank you so much. And I'm proud of you. And you're, like I said, you're one of those women that are, doing it in season a day and going after your dreams. And like you said, you have your own company. And so let's just keep inspiring and, because, life is just really tough right now. So, it's really important that we definitely keep this quote in mind, which says, if you risk nothing, then you risk everything.
Wow, that's deep. And it's awe-inspiring for me to actually look up to people that I've grown up listening to. And, like you say, you've gone through so many different things in life. Sometimes it is hard to realize that you're not the only person that goes through trials and tribulations, but whatever the goal or the inspiration is, it's always nice to have someone that's inspirational. So there's also a song that you have on Carpe Diem, Sister, Sister, and it is one of the most, I'd say, profound tracks for positivity at this current time. And raising awareness in the community for how we do need to raise each other's spirit. How did you come about making that song?
That's what you call a love letter to my sisters, because I was just finding, when you have, like I said, I was in a great relationship, I was married, and then after that I was in a bunch of bad ones. And then it was a trip because when I was young, I was so focused, I wasn't dating. I was doing my career. I was getting it in L.A., you know what I mean? 17, I'm on the road singing with I'm on tours and everything. So I was a late bloomer. I didn't do all the dating and stuff like that. And then I got married at 24. So after my divorce, that's when I kind of was like, wow. So that's when I was introduced to, like, all this, the games the guys play and the women. And so it was funny because I was that woman, being the fair Libra that I am. I'm like, no, I don't believe you. I want to talk to homegirl. So I was, so my thing is that I wound up becoming friends with, like, women that, especially one woman in particular that, my boyfriend cheated on, and and so that song was inspired from that. Because I was like, the same man that cheated on you, he cheated on me. So we're in the same boat. So we need to come together. So it's really, that song was inspired out of truth because, and that's when I started, writing it, and then we finished it later on. But I was just like, man, the games we played, but if we just stuck together, you know what I mean? It could have, like, and, she wasted time with homeboy, and so did I. It's like, man, we could have saved each other had we just really came together. We could have, like, we wasted 2 years of our life on a loser. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let's just talk about just the economics of it. Just, it makes sense on that part, but let alone just knowing that, we come from the same place. We're not any different. Really, it's just about what we're going to accept. So if women came together and were more powerful, we would be more powerful in how I think the respect that we would get as a woman, as opposed to dividing ourselves against each other. Because I think guys are even more so, they stick together more than women, I believe. Like, I think they could be like, oh, dude, yeah. I mean, I think they could go through something better than a woman. A woman is just, like, so emotional. Like, they just hate you. They don't even want to. Some women are like, I don't even want to talk to you. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's just experience. So that's where that song comes from. And I hope that, it does inspire women to love each other more, love on one another.
Well, I'm going to add that to my current list of songs because it is something to think about or consider with certain situations that we do get placed in and we don't typically stick together. But you have a lot of great songs on that album, so just kudos to you for even making the attempt to try something different but still come back and be yourself.
Aww. Thank you, Nikita.
Now, how can we contact you? Other than on your song list, are you available on Facebook or any other social networks for your fans or anyone that wants to reach you as well for support?
Oh, yeah. I am always on my Facebook, and I'm always, like, inspirational quotes. And, like, today I just posted my interview and what I wore, and I even do the scenes. I'm really interactive with people. But so you can reach me. Let me get it. Because sometimes I mess up because I have two different ones. So, what is it? Social media. Okay, the first address would be at Karyn's World on Twitter. At Karyn's underscore. I always forget that. At Karyn's, and that's KARYNS _world. And that's my Twitter. And then my Facebook is Karyn White Music, and that's KARYN WHITE Music. And then my YouTube, what is my YouTube channel? I think that's kind of linked. I don't know what my YouTube channel. I think it's Karyn White Official, because I'm going to I have acting tutorials on there, makeup, curly hair. I mean, I'm really starting to get more involved and interactive, especially.
I need to go find your YouTube channel.
Yeah,
I need the makeup one.
Yeah, I actually haven't started it, but I'm going to start the makeup one definitely like next week, because I just got a new camera, Canon. I'm excited to use it. But yeah, and just, hairstyles and my hair, I wear the curly hair, but my hair is super long and thick, so, I don't wear it because I have to. I wear it because I like to. And because I like to keep my hair from being, messed with, because you have to put a lot of heat on it when you wear it straight, and I don't want to mess my long hair up. So, and then makeup, really I wear it less is more these days, especially when you're younger. You think you don't really know what looks good on you because you're doing what the style is. But actually, as I got older, I realized, no, you have your own look, and it's better to, like I tell my daughter, classic, because it's just a timeless look. So, anyway, so being that I'm a brown girl, so I'll talk about the different, shades that look good on, the different lipsticks and glosses and all that great stuff, that girly stuff. And then I also will be doing tutorials on finances about, how I did a campaign for this how I started my company was through a tool called Bank on Yourself. Which is where you borrow from a life insurance policy that you buy, and then you actually pay yourself back. And as you pay yourself back, you become your own banker. So this is a financial tool that you can use to start, to buy cars, to buy any big ticket items. So you actually wind up paying yourself back the interest as a banker. So I'm gonna post about that, and just just like I said, just anything that is motivational, uplifting, life, lessons, about men, all that great stuff.
I can't wait to subscribe. It sounds like it'll be an awesome webisode.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that we should look forward to as far as that's concerned? You said you're doing hair, basically makeup. You'll be doing finances. So in a sense, you have pretty much a one-stop shop.
Yeah, life, what do you call that? It's life tutorials. But I'm also going to be, I want to talk about what I'm doing outside of it, and then I know because I can keep talking. I'm doing. I just finished doing not a movie, but a TV sitcom called Trophy Wife, which I'm excited about. I play a girl by the name of Kim Banks, and I'm like the Kim Porter of the sports world. So this is a show about ballers, ex-ballers that and their wives, and it's a scripted show. So I play Kim Banks. I'm 35 with 3 kids, and that's coming out soon. We just finished all the episodes, and they're editing and that and going to network. And then I'm doing a reality show called Married to God, or actually they changed it to Gospel Girls, and that's great because that shows you how do you persevere, how do you deal with all these issues, premarital sex, dating, anything spiritual that you can think of that, we know what our challenges are as being a woman. So how do I deal with it, so scripturally, and just, how do I keep myself clear and, just fasting and, when you're feeling like things, like I tell my daughter usually when stuff is going wrong in her life, I'm like, spiritually, are you praying? What are you doing? Are you being disobedient? Because especially if you're a child of God, that's how it's going to show up. So I was like, you got to really just pray. You got to get in your closet. You got to fast. You got to really, it's an effort for greatness. It doesn't, because sin weighs you down, and you'd be surprised that, like, whew, okay. So anyway, I'm doing a show that's called Married to God, and that'll be coming out. No, that's called Gospel Girls, and that'll be coming out. And I'm doing a show called Hip Rock Dreams, which is going to be a webisode, which is about love, hip-hop, and betrayal. And this is with my partner, Jay Seal, who is a younger actor, rapper. We had a company together, so it's half scripted, but half of some of our life. He was a younger guy. I dated him. We fell in love. We had a company. We went through a lot of craziness. So he's hot. He's off the chain. He's cute. He's awesome. You're going to see this dynamic between us and how the older woman with the younger man, how I believed in this dream, all this whole thing. So that's going to be a webisode that we're going to be starting, too. So I'm really excited about that.
That's awesome. The last question that I want to ask, because I actually want to get with you outside of here to get this information via email so I can keep up with your entertainment career as a whole and keep my readers updated with you as well for the rest of the coming year. But I'll wait till I'm done recording to get that from you a few minutes afterwards. The last question that I had for you is, what does it mean to you to be real every day and deliver?
Say that. I didn't hear that one. What is the what?
What does it mean to you to be real every day and deliver?
To be real?
Every day and deliver.
Every day, and to be real every day and deliver. Well, truth. First of all, I would say anything that has to do with judging yourself is being real. It's growing. It's looking at yourself, the bad, the good, the ugly, all of that, and being able to accept them and deal with them and grow and change. I don't care what age you are. So that's being real every day, because you're not afraid to look and grow and then and deliver. Is, being fearless. It's being driven, separating yourself, being disciplined. That's how you deliver. Being spiritually focused and balanced, and knowing who you are and knowing who you're not, which is even more important. Keeping the circle around you tight, not being with people that don't share the same vision and the same dream, people that uplift you. So it's which is what the Bible says as guarding your heart. So those are some of the things to me about being real every day. Probably the deep things, but I guess if you want to say shallow, being real is keeping 100. Okay. And so that's what I do. I keep it 100 all the time. Truth, and the truth will set you free. And so it's really, for me now, it's all about reality. And because that's how you grow. I mean, and I think that's the world we're in right now. People don't want that gloss. Before, when I was out before, it was like, oh, you know, they wanted all this, what is it called when you're exclusivity and just, you know, they wanted you to be mysterious. But now I think people, you know, they want to know, like, you're just like them, and how do you get through it? So that's how you keep it real.
I think that's a great answer, too. Is there anything that you want your fans or anything you want to leave your fans with for Bread Magazine that we haven't already talked about today? Anything at all?
Girl, we didn't said it. No, we didn't said it. I would just say, you know, gosh, I have, okay, I guess I could say something. I want to say this right quick because this was something I wrote. I'm going to be writing a book about what makes a superwoman, and I want to leave a couple of these things. Hold on. Okay, so this is it. Number 1, learn to say no when you need to, and know that you can't please everybody all the time. Have your own opinion. Know what you believe and why you believe it. Establish your own identity. Be true to yourself. Lose the need to please syndrome. Don't live under the tyranny of others' expectations. Be led by your heart, and don't go against your conscience. There we go.
I think those are very good words to leave my readers with. This is Bread Magazine. This is realbeat.com, and Bread Magazine is where we be real every day and deliver. So thank you so much again, Karyn White, legendary Karyn White. And for more information, if you are looking to do any investments in the Songvest, I do have information that I'll be posting on breadmedia.tv for you, and I'll be more than happy to send that to you. Give me one moment, okay?
Uh-huh.